perfect day
You are
for it. It looks like
You are on.
Megan isn't.
Okay, I'd like to call this caucus meeting in order. As always, I'll be looking for a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the second regular meeting dated Monday, December 30th, 2024, accepted declared by the clerk. 2 pieces of communication. Questions or comments on the communication? If none, Mayor's report. Mayor Miller.
Sure, I have a quick one today. Wetmore closure. As of January 13th, we've begun the Wetmore Drive closure for 150 days due to the bridge replacement. Please contact City Hall with any questions or concerns. The Struthers Fire Department had another record year in 2024 with a call volume increase of 113 calls for service. They look forward to continuing to serve you in 2025. Fire had 35, EMS was 1,257, rescue was 49, public service and other was 430, total calls being 1,771. We had another addition to Mothy Park with the Rotary Story Trail. I know there's not as many people visiting the park right now as there is in the summer and spring, but when you get out there, you'll notice the Story Trail. The Rotary, along with the Public Library of Youngstown and Mahoning County, City of Struthers, and Sunstone Garden, dedicated the Story Trail at Mothy Park. The stories and activities will be updated 4 times a year to correspond with each season, ensuring they remain relevant to the surrounding environment. The Struthers 5th Annual Holiday Lights Contest winner. I didn't have a mayor's report last time, so I know we're a little behind on this. But we would like to thank Amber Bonilla for putting on the City of Struthers 5th Annual Holiday Lights Contest again this year. The 2024 best overall was 174 Marion, the Donna Marumo and Hughes House. First place was 32 Creed, the Bodnars. Second place was 604 Maplewood, which was Councilwoman Pingley and James Vargas House. Third place is 292 Broad, which was the McCoy House. Griswold Award was 515 Fifth, the Thrush House. Santa's first stop was 128 Hopewell, the Goist family. The true meaning of Christmas was 216 Wilson, Mr. Crano. The Mr. and Mrs. Crano, sorry. Struthers Choice, 228 Creed, was the Flesher House. Brightest Business was 305 Elm Street, which is Ambets, and Most Spirited Street was Maplewood. That is all I have for today.
Questions or comments for our mayor? Okay, under committees, Dallas, I need you to convene your committee to add 2 pieces.
Like to call this finance and legislation meeting to order. Mr. Burnside here. Mr. Ballack here. Mr. Bigley is here. First one on the agenda tonight is an ordinance of the City of Struthers, Ohio, Mahoning County, supporting the Ohio Municipal League's challenge of the AT&T's tariff application at the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio and declaring an emergency. Mary, you want to speak?
I will let Bob speak on this one. The AT&T.
Yeah.
Oh, the AT&T. So they, right now, all the telephone poles in our easement. If we want to move or something, AT&T pays for it. AT&T got a request in with the Public Utilities Commission that if passed, then we would be responsible and pay the money to move poles, not AT&T. So they get to use our easement for free, and then we still have to pay if a pole gets in our way. And that may come up in the near future when we're doing our downtown safety upgrades. We may have to have a pole moved. This passes, we pay for it. If it doesn't, they pay for it.
Okay.
So this is
So we're
coming
just jumping on the
specifically-
bandwagon?
Yeah, most communities are supporting this to oppose it.
The Ohio Municipal League, which we're a part of every year, this is something they asked all the communities to.
Do we have any financial obligations to this?
No, this is just a, no.
Okay. Motion to bring it out.
Motion to bring it out.
Second. Ricky, let me steal this. Thanks.
Stick it in your mailbox.
Yeah, it ain't gonna fit in there. No, let me just trade me, Bob.
Wrong one?
Yeah.
No, I'll just keep it over, cause
Yeah.
well, you gotta read it,
Right,
right?
read it. Okay, next one, an ordinance creating the position of part-time maintenance person for the city administrative building, setting wages, repealing ordinance number 08-002, and any ordinance inconsistent herewith effective January 1st, 2025, and declaring an emergency. Mayor, would you like to speak on that at all?
Sure, so we had our maintenance person retire the beginning of this year. So we are replacing that position with Stan, who has been here for 9 years with the city. However, he wants to continue as part-time, and we feel like he can complete a lot of the work right now. We have a couple workers from the county that are aiding, and Bob's been working with us, so I'll let him speak on this too.
So, the ordinance is already in for a part-time custodian, but the wage was set at $7 an hour because it came out in 2008. So basically, all this is doing is updating the wage on it. The ordinance really hasn't changed other than the change in the salary.
Okay.
Motion to bring it in?
Second.
What's part-time considered?
Is it for finance and legislation?
28.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Meeting adjourned.
Okay. Back under standing committees, any committees for this week?
Yeah. She won't speak under that, she'll speak under business. Finance and Legislation Committee meeting to be held January 22nd at 6:15.
Any other committees?
Do we have any numbers,
6:15?
6 o'clock.
6?
so
Yeah.
there's probably not gonna be.
Oh, yeah, I'm
No
sorry,
other
6
committees?
o'clock.
Let you know when we're
We
ready.
might be looking closer to November.
Okay, we
That's
got
what I was
5
gonna have.
pieces of legislation, is there any questions, comments on our legislation for tonight? If none, unfinished business.
Alright, so I need to call a public utilities meeting, Mr. Carselli,
Here,
Mr. Bates,
I'm here.
and myself here. We need to speak one more time again with Mr. Bellish about some of our electric.
All right, thank you. So, before we begin on that, tomorrow should be the mailing for the electric aggregation program. So this is what the letter should look like. So residents will be getting a copy of this in 2-3 days, three mailing days. So that should be going out. So we expect Ohio Edison's price to be 10 cents this summer and about 9 cents next winter. So it's $7.95. It's a significant discount from Ohio Edison, and we would encourage residents to stay in the program for the savings and not opt out.
So basically this is the opt-out if they wanted to then.
Right.
They're automatically gonna be in no matter what if they're enrolled now.
Yeah, if they're enrolled now, or with Ohio Edison and not under supply, they'll get this letter. If you're under contract with somebody else, you will not get a letter. But they could call and opt in to the program. So,
But there won't be any fee on this end of it, but what if they're on with someone else, there may be a fee to drop?
yeah, there may be a fee to drop there, so residents should be aware of their contract and what they've agreed to up front in that, and at the end of their term, you can certainly do it without any fees. But,
Okay.
At one point, you guys covered the fees for them
Yeah,
at when
that's what it
we
was
first
last
started, I
time, too,
believe.
so.
yeah, if we imposed a fee to leave, then we just covered it. But we haven't had it's always been free to opt out for
Right.
quite a while now, I'd say for 5 years now. But originally it was $25 just to have residents notified if they were slammed. It would be a notification that, hey, they left the program, and but we've since just kind of gotten away with that, away from that, and just made it free to opt out. So we've got that, and then so what I wanted to talk to you about tonight was there are 19 city accounts, not under contract, that we're going to roll into the aggregation, but there's some better pricing available. So instead of rolling into the aggregation at the $7.95, I found a price of $6.96. So that represents about $5,000 in savings. So I wanted to show the committee that, and for their consideration. So this is with, Dynegy as well, so I have a copy of that agreement. So it'd be March 2025 to March 2026.
1 year.
And you said the sooner that we get this, the sooner we get it signed, the more likely we can get this price.
Right, so this is today's price. You know, I don't know what it'll be in a week or two, but things are kinda trending up, so to lock in the savings, I would encourage, the committee to.
And we can only lock this in for 1 year, is that correct?
It was just higher, right now, the next year's even more expensive.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, cause in the past, we were able to lock in for multiple years, correct?
Yeah.
At a somewhat little higher rate, and that in turn saved us, because as inflation went up and as it went higher, we were still locked in under those current contracts. Is that possible again?
We can, I'd have to get the price, it's probably like 7.5 cents or something, so it was starting to get close
Sure,
to the
but if we
aggregation.
don't, we have to renegotiate it next year, or we have to come up
Yeah.
with new rates next
Now-
year. We know that it's gonna go up before then.
Yeah, so it's already higher, so you basically for next year be paying like 8 cents. Now there's, a lot of things going on in the market to lower that price.
Okay. So you think that it will actually possibly be on the downturn?
So why lock in at 8, which is very, almost double of where it's at now, and just,
So this time it's not gonna benefit us like it did
I
in the
don't
past?
see the benefit this time.
Okay.
Like we did during the pandemic, we took advantage of that long-term pricing. So we'll keep in mind now, going forward, I think we can get back to longer-term pricing. It's just we don't know all the capacity rates going forward. We only know them for 1 more year.
Okay, so maybe this time,
So it's kind of a guess.
yeah, so this time maybe
Where-
do the year and
Yeah.
next year see where we're at and possibly push that out multiple years.
Yeah, so capacity rates are normally set 3 years in advance,
Okay,
and we just don't have that now. And that's how we were able to do the other long-term pricing. We did 3 years in advance, and that worked. But so, yeah, without that, suppliers always just do their best at guessing at the price, and they guess high.
sure.
So, so I wouldn't recommend the 2-year deal, but I would recommend this one, and say it's about $5,000, and that's what, and that's what's on the green line here, highlighted in green, that's the one, the 19 accounts for the city. And so we'd be all set, really, with all the energy programs through the end of the year then.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions, anything?
Are you gonna need legislation?
Yes, I believe
So
so.
next week you'll bring it out
Okay,
under finance so we can pass it.
Following week.
okay. Yeah,
So
she
make
said-
sure you have your legislation in place for next Wednesday.
Okay,
Does she need to send that to finance and legislation, Mike, or does
She
she
just
need to
said that she
convene?
needs legislation, so yeah,
Well,
we'll have to go to.
we
committee.
just discussed it and we thought we would need, cause any kind of contract like
Okay.
that, the mayor thought we would need, you think we need legislation for that, correct?
I do.
Yeah, no,
just
we
because-
do.
Yeah.
We do,
I
right.
didn't know how general the other pieces of legislation were, if it covered this or not, but I feel more comfortable just doing it if it's more specific.
So have it ready for next Wednesday.
Okay,
Okay.
alright.
Will you be able to get me something?
Yeah, I'll get you a
Okay.
draft,
Okay.
and should be all set for that.
Okay. You have anything else?
I think that's all I had.
Okay,
Okay.
well, thank you very much.
All right.
A motion to adjourn,
So move.
I'll second it.
alright, meeting adjourned.
Take them, take them.
Okay.
No, you're okay.
Is there any other unfinished business?
Yeah, under unfinished business, we have a guest here that was on the agenda.
Is that to me?
That is to you, Kristen.
Okay, well, nice to see everybody, Happy New Year. While I have the platform, I do wanna just comment, as someone who travels multiple jurisdictions, I will tell you Struthers roads are the best. I drive every day through 3 jurisdictions, and you should kudos to your street department, and in a public forum, I do wanna say that. I could tell you how angry I get as soon as I cross our border. I'll just leave it there.
So in which direction are you talking about?
I'm heading into this larger city.
Fair enough.
So I'll just leave it there. I just come to do a presentation again that, you know, we're very thankful that you allowed KO Consulting to work with the city again, last fiscal year. We were very, very happy with our results. Just a quick snapshot, we had 565,729 in approved grant funds. We have approximately still pending 33,592 for some cybersecurity through the state. That application is pending, we've not received notification. 640,000 is still pending in the federal government. You pass that 640,000, pass all the committees. When you see the federal government pass a full budget, you should be in that. So they haven't passed the full budget, hopefully they will here in February, March. When you see that announcement, we'll know we got that additional 640. And then we still have a huge $4 million EPA request pending. That was part of a $20 million ask between the city of Girard, the city of Youngstown, and the city of Struthers. We worked with the wastewater treatment plant. That would include a lot of major upgrades that you wanna do. We believe we're competitive still in that EPA application because the city of Youngstown made the bulk of it, and it's gonna be a very competitive application. I don't do this work by myself, so I wanted to bring some team. This is Ty Beatty, he is handling our planning and our zoning. Lived in this area, grew up here, moved to New York for several years, is back, is also a retired Air Force veteran, so we love having that as part of the team. He's dove in and will be handling some of what I would consider your major projects should our contract be renewed. I think that, what, pardon? Yes, he's brownfield specialist, so our usage of him will be the river, to figure out how to develop your acres there, deal with some, anything project-wise in the brownfields. That I don't have anything other than to say, obviously, you're one of our most successful matrix. Our goal always is to have a major return on investment, so what are you paying us, what are we bringing in? We certainly met that threshold again this year, and we would like the chance to do that again next year. A lot of our major funding is pending. Again, we're gonna look at a couple large FEMA grants that the wastewater treatment has sent over. We understand some visions you have for the police department. We tried to spread the wealth. Every one of your departments got funding. Additionally, our contract does include with no additional, we do a lot of your reporting. So we did your reporting on behalf of your fire department for the FEMA money we received, some of those grants. We're doing the reporting on that. That's all, we throw that in as an added bonus in your contract. So we receive foundation monies, state funds, and federal funding in this last fiscal year. We meet with all your department heads to ensure that what they need, we're looking at, as even keel as we can, and then we look to the mayor's office for those, those larger special projects. The bulk of our contract was, I know a lot of it came from the wastewater fund, because we're doing so much specific to wastewater, and we yielded the wastewater received their return on investment as well, because they received approximately about $353,000 for wastewater treatment upgrades. So, that, I don't have much more to add than that. If you have any specific questions of me or Ty, we'd be happy to answer them. But we're excited, there's a lot more coming down. We'll do another capital budget request next year, try to continue to get more funds from the state, continue to get funds from Congressman Ruley's office, which we'll be likely successful with. So we do enjoy working with the city. You guys are doing a wonderful job, and certainly from my perspective, grants volume, the city of Struthers is doing better probably than all the competing municipalities. So you should, look at that as a feather
Because
in
you're
your
from
cap.
Struthers?
I will say Struthers gets a lot of our attention, but we're trying to we're systematic about it, but Struthers gets a lot of attention,
It's okay.
so. and
So
then-
we'll be looking at our brownfields now?
Oh, yeah,
Good.
Kristen, one more time,
Thanks for your service and welcome aboard.
can you reiterate total grants you brought in last year?
565,729, but that is with not what's pending.
Right.
We still have another
That's
probably
what's
about
already-
five, that's
already
here,
been
that's
brought in,
in
yeah.
that's in the
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
So we still have another approximate like 5 million pending. That would
That would be
consider,
great.
yeah, that's considered last fiscal year.
Yeah.
I would love to see that, so
Sure.
let's keep an eye out for those.
Sure.
So that's
we-
all I have.
We wanted to make sure by bringing you in that we were getting an ROI.
Mhm.
And obviously we are.
Mhm.
I appreciate everything you do. I think you do a great job, an excellent job with the grants. Ty, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And thank you for your service.
Of course.
Anybody have any questions for Kristen?
Mayor,
I don't have a question, but I just have a comment. She just spoke in a room full of 40 women today, and I said it then and I'll say it now. I don't think that the city of Struthers would be in such good light if it wasn't for KO. You've brought grants to the city that we've never seen before, that we've never applied for before. We're getting the spotlight when other cities are not, and a lot of that is because of the grant and the grants you guys are going after, taking me back and forth to DC, getting us in front of all of these legislators, Columbus, everywhere. That really stands out, and I don't think I could do my job as good as we do without you and your team. You guys do a phenomenal job, and it shows.
We appreciate those kind words. I mean, we all care about this city. We're all still here for a reason. And I talked about this morning in my talk. I made a choice. I could have left this area, but I chose to stay and be part of the solution. So we do very much like working with the cities and all of the cities, and we've got some. That was a tall ask to put a 20 million request in with 3 municipalities, but we pulled it off, and we want to make sure Struthers is getting their more than their fair share. So we're strategic about how we're going about things. So my team is always available. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, reach out. We're happy to do additional things. And I'm glad I have Ty on board. He's modest on. He handled a ton of zoning and brownfield revitalization projects for New York City. So we're glad to be able to, have some homegrown talent come back. So I don't have anything else, and, unless anybody has anything further.
Jim had-
No, I
Oh,
didn't,
I
no,
thought you
no.
were saying something, sorry. You jumped on.
Appreciate you, Kristen.
No, we appreciate
thank
you
you.
guys. I mean, we really do.
Thank
Yeah,
you very
thank
much,
you.
Kristen.
okay, any other unfinished business?
I can see that in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
Dawn, any other unfinished business?
well, so we were just discussing how we have all these papers here, and we said before that we should all bring our iPads. So,
Yet here you are with those papers, Lord.
I am here with the papers, but I think next week I should bring my iPad. I think we
Leave-
should try to get back on
I
that.
think you should lead by example.
Okay,
I'll
next
bring
week.
mine too.
Okay, let's lead
Don't
by
bring any
example.
papers.
We'll show you all
Make
how
sure you got
it's
these
done.
papers ready for me, Meg, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Me
Yeah, 'cause
too.
we know you're gonna file those papers.
That's right.
As long as we recycle them, we should be okay.
Exactly.
Alright,
Okay,
that's all, yeah.
any other unfinished business?
Sorry, Laura, I'm the worst
New business?
ever met.
Report of our law director, John, do you have anything for council tonight?
No,
Questions, comments for our law director? Our auditor's absent, any questions or comments for our safety director? Bob, do you have anything?
I do not.
Bob, I have a couple things for you. We talked a few weeks ago about, street lights being out and, the process of reporting them. So what I did is I didn't go, well, in the morning, I'm up and about early, so I've found a handful of street lights out. I called Mr. Rhodes, left a message, and I've got no response back from Mr. Rhodes. So what I would like to see council and the administration probably get Troy Rhodes in here, and let's find out how we're gonna get this stuff fixed, because we are paying for this stuff whether they're working or not. And if they're not working, We're still paying for it, correct?
They're having a problem, I think it's county-wide. I know Warren actually
I
did
see, they've
something
been
with
they've been in the
stopped
paper too.
payment because their lights aren't getting as.
Absolutely, that's
It's
why I'm,
not just something that's
absolutely.
geared towards us, but I don't know.
On a normal basis, when we report a light out, it's repaired within 3 days. That's normal procedure. Now, I understand that Ohio Edison is behind right now, so it may be taking a little bit longer, but I have confidence that they will get caught back up.
Can we get
As
Mr.
far as
Rhodes in
reporting
here?
the lights out, I know our captain on afternoon, our midnight shift, Captain Leonard, he usually comes up with a list every 3 months or something and gets them reported. So our lights, I'm not saying we don't have any out, they're pretty good. Checking lights in the morning, it's kinda iffy, because some lights will go off quicker when it starts getting just a little bit dusk out, you know, or a little bit dawn.
So you wanna check them at night?
At night is the best time, and Captain Leonard does a really good job at keeping up on our lights.
Can we get Mr. Rhodes in here?
He did respond on December 27th.
December 27th, so he's
He
gonna
sent an
attend one of
email.
our meetings?
No, he responded, he emailed a few of us with his response.
His response to what?
I called him and left him an email and he emailed back to a few of us.
Cause I called him, he never returned my call. Well, I'd like to get Mr. Rhodes in here so we can question him on the company's outlook for repairs and upgrades for the
So would that be under public utilities then?
Yeah, he can do it under, he always did it at the end too. Whoever,
That would be an invite from Megan,
I mean, I could reach out
yeah.
and see when he.
I mean,
would be
because
available.
council's the one inviting them, I mean,
right.
I could call them and ask them to come
Now,
down, but
Megan, can you, if it's even a committee meeting night, whatever night that he's available to come in and talk to us and discuss
What do you wanna know, what their responsibilities are with our?
responsibilities, when they're, you know, because
The service and
back
maintenance.
years ago, when you go through the call center for any kind of repairs, they have so many days to repair this. And if they don't get it repaired within the time frame, it's points on them.
Hmm.
So, I don't know how to say this, but we tried to work together to maybe, you know, get it repairs done in a more timely manner, so they don't get the points. So we can discuss that and try to get some of this stuff done.
Okay.
Cause I found poles that are, cross arms are broken and the cross arms, the supports are broken and the cross arms are going, you know, crazy, and I just, there's stuff that needs done, and I'd
Well,
like to.
there are quite a few leaning poles out there that
Yes.
are not being addressed, and they've been there quite a while.
What is the protocol on leaning poles? I've never had to deal with that.
Well, if it's a repair, they gotta come out and inspect it, and if it needs repaired, it needs fixed,
But
if it needs
some of these
replaced.
leaning poles aren't even hooked up to wires, they're just not picking up the poles. I know there's been a problem with a few of the poles that I had with accidents and stuff, but, you know, it's like the, Ohio Edison can't do anything until the cable company does something, and they can't do anything till the telephone company does something. There's like three businesses that you have to go through to get one telephone pole taken care of.
Absolutely, so this is why I would like to see him come in and talk to us and go through all this, and like I see a pole at the corner of Maplewood and Elmwood. The cross arm supports are broke, and there's about 4 foot from the top, the pole's split right down the middle, and the cross arms sideways.
Well, I know we had a pole on Center, the bottom of Center, in Louisville Road. We had one at the bottom of Smithfield that was splintered for over a year.
There you go.
And we called everybody, and for almost a year, I think we called, and it was this person was waiting on this person, and then this one.
Yeah,
put
but
it off.
I think the one on Center, they took the pole, but they left the splintered piece in the ground.
Well,
I mean,
know
somebody could have fell and actually impaled themselves on those splinters.
the resident at the bottom of Smithfield called
Yeah.
Bill Johnson's office and was screaming and yelling. That day, she called I got a call from his office, they took care of it and it was handled in 2 days. So I don't know if that may be an outlet we can try to, is call some of the legislators and say, help us handle this, because they all the companies push it off on each other. And
Yeah.
it's just a circle. I mean, we've dealt with those, specifically those two, for a long time.
Yes, I know.
And kept getting the runaround.
So if we can make him, reach out to him and he can come in either a committee meeting night or come in regularly, whatever he's available to do, and we'll talk about these issues and try to get an understanding on the best way to go to get them resolved. Cause like
Would
you
you
said,
prefer him come during committee or council?
whatever
like
he's
this?
available, I'm for anything.
Okay.
But, you know, there's other communities. In fact, Mr., I think his name is Greg Greathouse, he was our HR person at, Ohio Edison, and he's now a representative, I wanna say Newton Falls, I forget the community, they got problems there too. Street lights out, you know, double poles.
City of Warren.
City of Warren, you remember that, thank you. I knew it was out that way. So I think we need to, you know, let them know that we're interested in getting our issues taken care of.
I would agree.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
any other questions for our safety director? Thank you, Bob. Motion adjourned caucus.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, caucus is adjourned.
That was a long call.
Yeah, it
It was, fine.
Usually not that long.
Really was.
Almost council.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on, I'm